Hello, ladies and gentlemen, all 9 of you. We got another subscriber, man. Isn't that crazy? You guys we're freaking blowing up. No, but in all seriousness, thank you to whoever subscribed within the last 2 days. Last video I said thank you to all 8 of you, and now today I'm saying thank you to all 9 of you because someone else subscribed. So thank you guys. This is a new channel. Any subscription means the world to me. You guys are awesome. It's great. But anyway, my name is Giggity. Real name is Mark. And in today's video, we're continuing our series ranking all multiplayer maps in every Call of Duty game with part 7, where we're going to be ranking all 30 Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer maps from worst to best. We started with Black Ops 6, which was part 1, then we did Black Ops 2, then Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops 4, and then last video was on Vanguard, and now today we're doing Infinite Warfare. Reason why is I just want to get it out of the way, man. I'm just going to be 100% honest. This is my second least favorite Call of Duty game of all time. My first least favorite was Vanguard, which is why we got that one out of the way, and now we're going to do Infinite Warfare, because I really am just not a big fan of Infinite Warfare, so I just want to get it out of the way. If I'm going to rank them all, gotta get the bad ones out of the way. This is all obviously ranked on personal opinion. I want to make that very clear. Just my opinion on how these maps play, and mainly based on the vibes for this game, because I didn't play a lot of the friggin' Infinite Warfare DLC maps because I barely played the base game. And so I did go back and play it against bots, but obviously that doesn't mean that I have the best opinions on it, because I am a very casual player anyway, so even if I did play this game, it's not like a competitive opinion. So yeah, we're just gonna be ranking them based off of vibes mainly, and how they look and stuff like that, because you can only get so much off of playing against bots. We are splitting this up into 6 tiers, by the way: the awful tier, bad tier, mediocre tier, good tier, amazing tier, and the best tier. And song of the day is called Smooth by Santana and Rob Thomas. It's a rock and roll song, so if you like rock and roll, go give it a listen, but if not, then obviously don't listen to it. And without further ado, let's get right into it with number 30, my least favorite Call of Duty Infinite Warfare map. And that, my friends, is going to the map called Breakout. Yeah, this isn't actually a base game map. It's not a DLC map. So I did play this when the game launched. I do remember this map, but I do not remember enjoying it whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I remember hating this map every single time it came up for multiple reasons. First off, the design choice of it is so boring. It's just a facility, man. Like, it's yippee, you know, there's nothing really going on there. And then on top of that, it just doesn't play well. Like, the flank routes are too long, man. Too long. Coming in at the number 29 spot is going to Dominion. Dominion. It's not good looking at all. It's a big, wide open freaking like desert map. It kind of gives off like Halo vibes, if that's what you're going for, which is, you know, it's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of just wide open maps with like some debris thrown in here and there to split up the combat. Not a big fan of that. And so yes, this is one of the maps that I did only play against bots, so, you know, maybe I'm wrong here in saying it, but I feel like most of these games would play out the same way. Coming in at the 28th spot is going to Renaissance. Yeah, Renaissance it's like some weird old-timey like English town. It kind of reminds you like an Assassin's Creed game in terms of its design choices, but it also was way too big when I was playing against bots, and so I can only imagine what it would feel like playing against real-life players. I guarantee that going against real-life players in this game on Renaissance would just not be that fun. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. I feel like this would just not be a fun time. Coming in at the number 27 spot, and the final one for the awful tier before we get into the bad tier, is Retaliation, another OG, you know, base game map that was added into the game. Yeah, I didn't like this one either, really. This was like one of everybody else's favorites too, by the way, which I thought was kind of crazy. It's kind of based off of, like, again, another like European town. I don't know what European country this would be. Maybe UK, France. I have no idea. I'm not a European, obviously. But it's based off of some UK town, or European town, I should say. And it's the entire right side with the street. That side sucks. And then the entire left side with the street, with like the big wide open part where everybody's just kind of holding down angles, that side sucks. And then going inside, it's just way too close. I'm not a fan of this map. Alright, but now you're into the bad tier. So maps in this tier are just not my excuse me, Jesus, are just bad. They're not awful though. Like if I'm gonna play on them, I probably won't be, you know, scratching my eyeballs out. I'll probably just be poking them a little bit here and there. In 26th place is going to Scrap. Scrap is a giant scrapyard, which is like on a moon. For some reason, why would we ever put Scrap on the moon? I feel like that's just the worst idea of all time. But yeah, that's what it is. It's horribly boring in terms of its design choice. I did not like playing on this map at all. And yet again, it's another map where pretty much all the map is separated by is debris. And the kind of complete opposite of that, coming in at the 25th spot, is Scorch. I do believe this is an OG map as well, because I remember playing on it for some reason, so I'm pretty sure this is a base game map. Talk about probably one of the worst color palettes of any map ever made. I'm sorry, but I do not enjoy playing a map and just looking at orangeness all the time. I do not like in feeling like I have freaking malaria. I don't even know if that's a side effect of malaria. It's probably not, but that it doesn't feel nice. The map could play incredibly. I don't care. It's not going to be fun to play on if it looks like this. It looks awful. Coming in at the number 24 spot, however, is going to be going to the map Frost. I am yet again pretty sure that this is another base game map. Isn't that crazy? We're going over some base game maps here. Yeah, some of the base game maps were pretty bad, and Frost is one of them. Frost just felt way too freaking large, and then every single flank route felt way too wide open. It was just so weird. And then the interior was nothing crazy either. And on top of it all, it's kind of a boring, setting. It has the snow, which is obviously cool. Everybody likes snow maps in Call of Duty, but then it has it's just a boring facility in the snow. Nothing crazy. All right, coming in at the number 23 spot, however, is going to be going to Bermuda. Bermuda is a map that's obviously, well, I'm assuming, based in the Bermuda area of the world, which is, it's interesting, but then they decided to go with, like, some weird Borderlands style design choice there. I don't get it, man. What was the point in the design choice for Bermuda? It does not look good at any point. It looks like you're walking down freaking Skid Row. It's horrible. It's a really bad looking map. Coming in at 22nd place is going to be going to Grounded. Grounded is, yet again, another DLC map that I had to play against bots and everything like that, but with a pretty boring setting, man. I'm sorry, but, like, the idea that COD had when it came to Infinite Warfare and making all these maps just be on different planets, and then it's like, oh, it's cool because it's on a different planet, so what we can do is just make it a boring freaking facility on another planet, does not make it cool, man. Like, yeah, the skybox of seeing Saturn in the background, that's pretty cool, I'll give it that, but then the map doesn't, it's not like, the map just plays boringly. And coming in at 21st spot has a pretty cool name, I'll give it that, Neon. Neon's a pretty cool name, man. And then you look at the map and it's like, what is this map, man? What is this supposed to be? I feel like I'm in a freaking cyberpunk world when I'm playing Neon. I'm not a big fan of it. It is a DLC map, so I'll give it that. I didn't play it against real people. Maybe it plays really, really fun against real people. But against bots, man, I was not too enthusiastic about this map. Alright, breaking its way into the top 20 and the final one for the bad tier before we move on to the average tier is a map called Skydock. Skydock, would you look at that? I'm pretty sure Skydock is a base game map. That's, hey, that's something. The base game maps usually, to me, hold up a little bit more weight because that means I actually got to play on it. However, Skydock is yet again another map where it's just set in space at some random facility. I don't understand, Call of Duty. Why was that your design choice for every single map in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? It's so boring. Why was that your design choice? It plays okay. This map doesn't play that bad, which is why it's at the top of the bad tier, but its design is boring. Alright, but now we are into the average tier. So maps in this tier are average in terms of Infinite Warfare design, but pretty below average in terms of all overall Call of Duty maps. Because coming in at 19th place is going to Frontier. Frontier is a, like, very, very close range, another base game map, by the way, very, very close range, 2 long hallways is pretty much what separates this, like, kind of crazy 8 style map, but you can go underground to try and hit a flank. Spoiler alert, it's not going to work. So it's pretty much just like 2 long hallway gunfights the entire match, but it does, take some, close range gunfights. It's high action, a high paced sort of gameplay, which if you like that, that's good, but overall, it's okay to me, nothing crazy. Next up, at the 18th spot, is going to be going to the map Carnage. This is a DLC map, and like I said, only played it against bots, so again, maybe it plays a lot better than it played against bots, but in my opinion, it just kind of played a little bit boringly. It kind of reminded me of the last map we were just talking about, where, like, the entire design choice of it is, like, these 2 very long halls, and they kind of meet in the middle at this, like, weird, crazy 8 location area, and I thought it was all right. Okay, I didn't think, I wasn't having, like, the most fun on it. The design is at least something different, it's not just a random facility, which I'll give it that, but it's also not anything crazy. Alrighty, coming in at 17th place is probably one of the cooler maps in terms of their names, Depot 22. That's a cool name. I'll give it that. Depot 22. Like, I like that name for some reason. I don't know why, but it just scratches that itch in my brain that I was looking at. And so then you get to play on it, and you're like, okay, this is, that's a good start for the map. But what do we got here? It's a facility. It's a like railroad facility or something. There's like rails going above you the entire map. It's just, yet again, I'm sorry to break the news to you, a boring design. However, coming in at the number 16 spot is going to another DLC map, Altitude. Altitude is a beautiful designed map. I will give it that. Altitude, you guys nailed it in terms of the Altitude design team. Okay, they got the designs right. And that's good. However, the map doesn't really play too well. It doesn't play bad. It doesn't play horribly. But in terms of Infinite Warfare maps, there are some that really, satisfy that, jetpack era Call of Duty maps. And this is just, in my opinion, not one of them. This could have been a boots on the ground map and would have worked just as well. Coming in at 15th place is a map with yet again a pretty freaking boring like palette, Crusher. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now what it is. It's yet again another facility, like random facility in the middle of Mars. I want to say it's like a weird big orange planet. I'm sorry, but dude, I am not a fan of these designs, man. These big open maps with just dirt, like desert sand and orange skyboxes, is just not it for me. However, coming in at the number 14 spot and the final one for the average tier before we get along into the good tier is Permafrost. Another DLC map, but finally something different. This map is set in like a more like historical setting. Like there's not all this crazy over the top facility stuff. It's set in like a random building back in the day, like, well, not even back in the day, like a modern style building. Like, and it actually worked really well. The skybox is yet again beautiful and everything like that, but it's a snow map. It looks good. And then playing it against bots, at least, wasn't too fun. So that's why I'm putting it in the average tier. But in terms of design choice, they actually did good on this one. Alright, but now we are into the good tier. So maps in this tier are just maps that play pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I thought they were pretty cool for one reason or another. And 13th place, the first one for this tier, is 4. That's the name of it. It's called 4. It's based off of like a weird cartoony, like I don't even know, like kind of a amusement park style thing. Maybe just like a child attraction. There's like a castle with a dragon. I don't know. It's based on a cool design, though, is what I'm saying. Okay, the design isn't just a random boring facility, which is nice. It looks like it would have played well too. Obviously, like I said, I played against bots and DLC maps, but it does look like it would have played well. 4 looks like an overall pretty good map. And coming in at the 12th location is going to be going to Archive. I'm going to let you guys know right now in terms of design choices. Again, yes, it's kind of boring. However, once you get inside this map, it's kind of like a I don't know, it's kind of like a museum, almost like a art museum style map. So once you get inside of it, it does look pretty, has some nice colors and stuff like that. Just most of the map is outside though, and being outside, it's not the most incredible looking map. In terms of playing it, it seemed pretty average to me, but it is a DLC map. Coming in at the number 11 spot has a really cool design, but I have a funny feeling this map probably played horribly in 6v6 multiplayer because it's Noir. Noir has an awesome design. It's set in like a oldie times freaking like nighttime city with all these like brick buildings and like these advertisements and neon lights and stuff. It's awesome. In terms of the design choice, it is awesome. It's a really cool design choice. But then actually playing it, the map seemed way too large. Maybe it played a lot better in like I said, maybe it played a lot better in real lobbies and stuff like that, but compared to like with bots, it did not seem that great. Breaking its way into the top 10 is going to another DLC map that just has a really cool design, and that's pretty much it. Mayday. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. It does have a facility as pretty much the main attraction to this map, but the skybox is awesome. You're fighting like right next to a black hole. It is just so freaking cool. The entire match you're looking at like this black hole in the background. It's really cool. The facility is unfortunately, pretty boring, but at least it has that cool atmosphere behind it. Coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be going to Turista, another DLC map, and this is a cool design. I don't know what it's really supposed to be based off of, if I'm being honest. I believe, if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me correct, it's almost like a freaking like getaway style area, but kind of like a museum, almost and then there's a giant skeleton too, like a giant like animal skeleton across the entire map. All I'm trying to say is it's actually a really cool design, has beautiful like waterfall through the middle of it. Design choice is awesome. I do think it would probably have played a little bit too largely for 6v6 game modes though. And finally, coming in at the number 8 spot and the final one for the good tier before we move along into the amazing tier is Excess, which is pretty much just Rust, for those who don't know. Yeah, Rust, obviously everybody loves Rust. It's a good map, and in Modern Warfare, they remade it. It's fun because a lot of Modern Warfare maps were not that fun, but I will say playing Rust with like Jetpack era COD was weird. It didn't, again, I was playing against bots, so, keep that in mind, but it felt odd. It didn't feel right. I was not putting it in the amazing tier for that. Alright, but now we are into the amazing tiers. So maps in these tiers are just fun old maps to play on, man. I'm excited. And coming in at the number 7 spot is Precinct, a base game map, and it's just a close range, but has, you know, flank routes and everything like that. It's just set in like a, I don't even know, it's like set in like a Chinese, Korean, I don't know what it is, city, some Asian city. But it plays really well is what I'm trying to say. All lanes feel like there's always something going on them. It's not too big, but not too small. Precinct, it's just overall very, very fun map. It's good. Design choice, a little bit boring, but good nonetheless. 6th place. Finally, coming in at 6th place is Ember. It's a Modern Warfare 3 Resistance remake. I never knew this existed until going back to play this game. I was so upset because I've always thought to myself, I need Resistance remade. Resistance is such a fun game mode, or such a fun map. I love Resistance. It's so well made. It's awesome. I always wanted it to be remade, and they remade it in Infinite Warfare. Nobody told me. Are you kidding? I went back and played it, and it was so much fun playing Resistance again. It's a great map. It's awesome. It is a little bit too dark, though. I don't know why they made it so dark. 5th place is going to another remake. Surprise, surprise, because Infinite Warfare couldn't not nail map designs down, so pretty much all the good maps are remade maps. It's Terminal. Terminal's a fun freaking map from Modern Warfare 2. The only real reason why I'm putting it here at number 5 and not like a little bit higher, obviously 5 is still really good, it's in the amazing tier, but not like number 1, is because I do think Terminal's just a little bit overplayed, man. I have played Terminal so much, I'm just kind of bored of it now at this point. So, you know, playing it again, I wasn't super surprised, but adding jetpacks to it does definitely give it a new level of like verticality and stuff like that, which is cool, but overall I'd rather just play some of the other ones. Coming in at 4th place, however, is going to be going to Genesis Holiday. Genesis Holiday is pretty much just Genesis, which is a strike zone from Call of Duty Ghost. Strike Zone from Call of Duty Ghost is one of the best maps in that entire game, and it was an incredible game, one of the best maps in Call of Duty history, and they remade it for this game, and it is amazing. It is so much fun. However, Genesis Holiday, it's just like, I'd rather just play the regular version of it. Speaking of which, coming in at 3rd place and the final one for the amazing tier, there are only 2 maps in this game that I think deserve the best tier, but it's Genesis, which is the Strike Zone remake we were literally just talking about. Yeah, Strike Zone is awesome. This map is really, really pretty compared to the Holiday version, so I'd rather play on the regular Genesis personally, but obviously that's 100% personal opinion. If you like the Holiday get up better on Genesis, then you'll probably like that one better. But yeah, it's Strike Zone, man. Strike Zone plays surprisingly fun with jetpacks. I don't know what like how we didn't know this list, but yeah, it's a really, really fun map with jetpacks. It's awesome. All right, but now we are into the best tier. So maps in this tier, which is literally only 2 of them, are overall really, really good maps, not only for this game, but for Call of Duty history. And 2nd place is Throwback. Throwback is an OG map, a base game map, and it was so much fun. It's set in this like weird little town style thing with like a train in the middle of it. I don't even remember. Like, this thing just has a weird design. I'm gonna give it that, but it plays awesomely, man. You have sniper lanes, you have close range lanes, you have AR lanes, LMG lanes, SMG lanes. You can do whatever you want in Throwback. Throwback feels like kind of plays almost like a slightly larger Nuketown, and it's just awesome. I love Throwback. I think they should remake it. However, 1st place, my favorite map in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, is a remake. It's Heartland. Heartland is a Warhawk remake from Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts Warhawk is one of the best maps in that game, and yet again, when they remade it for this game, it played incredibly well. Warhawk has always been awesome. It has been freaking great, and in Infinite Warfare, it's really good because it takes away the one thing that you hate most about Warhawk: campers. They can't really camp that much since you have jetpack abilities and stuff like that. You can pretty easily get up behind them, and if you can get up behind them, which like I said, it shouldn't be that hard since you have jetpacks and stuff, they can't camp anymore. So it really takes away the only downside to Warhawk and just makes the map really, really fun to play on. I do think the design choices were worse than the original Warhawk though. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video, ranking all 30 Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer maps from worst to best. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd see in the comment section down below. Obviously, we are trying to rank all maps from each Call of Duty game, so next video will be one of those videos. But after we're done with this series, what other like series would you like to see? Maybe we'll do ranking all guns in each Call of Duty game. Maybe that'll be a good idea. But yeah, let me know. Also, massive thank you. I know we're only at 9 subscribers, but it feels like 9,000 because we're going up there, man. It's slow, but steady. You know, where it's a baby steps. It's a baby steps thing. Every time I see one new subscriber, I'm always like, that's awesome. Like, you know, next time we get a subscriber, we're going to be in double digits, man. We're going to be at 10 subscribers. So we're really moving up in the world. It's feeling great. Feeling like a new leaf has been turned. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.